feel strange the first time. The mask, the awkward gear. But when you enter the water, everything changes. Inhale. The air comes with a reassuring rush. You're light, agile, free, like you've never experienced before. With your first dive, a door opens to a different world. Go through it, and your life will never be the same.
Fly through the water, under the sea. Fly through the water, under the sea.
If you love nature, you can see more wildlife in 10 minutes on a coral reef than in 10 hours in a forest. If discovery drives you, underwater you'll see things most people never see and go places most people never go. And beyond this, diving and divers are just plain fun. You'll meet all sorts of people in diving and make many new friends. Divers come from all ages and cultures, but share a common bond, a passion for underwater exploration.
Hi, good to meet you.
It's cliché but true that we know more about the moon's surface than the ocean floor. Even after hundreds of dives, there's always something new to discover and thrill you. In the PADI Open Water Diver course, you'll learn to explore the underwater world using scuba equipment, and you'll find the course a fun and rewarding challenge. To become a scuba diver, you need to be comfortable in water and have basic swimming skills. And you need to be in good overall health, particularly your circulatory and respiratory systems. You also need good judgment and be ready to follow the guidelines and principles required for safe diving. Diving's a kick, but like anything with some risk, you can't act like these don't matter. You need to have your act together. PADI, the Professional Association of Diving Instructors, developed the PADI Open Water Diver course based on state-of-the-art instructional systems, education theory, and practice. As the world's largest diver training organization, more people learn to dive in PADI programs than in all others combined. So you can be confident that dive professionals will recognize your credentials no matter where diving takes you. The PADI Open Water Diver course consists of confined water dives, knowledge development, and open water dives. Learning begins with confined water dives, where you learn and apply basic scuba skills in a pool or pool-like environment. It's a course, but this is really a lot of fun. Knowledge development establishes the principles and basic information you need to have fun, diving safely. You'll complete this primarily on your own time, with some short review and quiz sessions with your instructor. The open water dives complete your training as a certified entry-level diver by allowing you to apply and further develop your dive skills in a dive environment under instructor supervision. The confined water dives are pretty cool, but you're gonna love this. If you've never used scuba before, get ready. This is what you've been looking for. Immediately you experience new sensations, like breathing underwater. You'll venture into a realm where everything looks, sounds, and feels a bit different. In Section 1, we look at some of the principles you need to know about the underwater world and some of the dive equipment and scuba systems you'll be using. We'll also go over the PADI system and the skills in your first confined water dive. Let's start with a look at buoyancy. Have you ever wondered why a large steel ocean liner floats, but a small coin sinks? The reason is that water buoys up an object with a force equal to the weight of the water the object displaces. So if an object weighs less than the water it displaces, it floats. We call that positively buoyant. If it weighs more than the water it displaces, it sinks. We call that negatively buoyant. If it weighs the same as the water it displaces, it neither floats nor sinks. We call that neutrally buoyant. You'll learn to control your buoyancy using your BCD, buoyancy control device, and weight system, so you hover neutrally buoyant, almost like a weightless astronaut. Or float positively buoyant at the surface, so you can save energy and rest. Although you don't usually notice, air constantly exerts pressure on you. If you've ever walked against a strong wind, though, you've felt its force, demonstrating that air exerts pressure. Air pressure is simply the air's weight caused by gravity holding the atmosphere against the Earth. At sea level, we call this pressure 1 atmosphere, or bar. Water also has weight and exerts pressure. 10 meters, 33 feet of seawater exerts the same pressure as the atmosphere of air. So at 10 meters, 33 feet, the pressure is 2 atmospheres, or bar, 1 of air and 1 of water. At 20 meters, 66 feet, the pressure is 3 atmospheres, or bar. At 30 meters, 99 feet, it's 4, and so on. You don't feel pressure through most of your body because it is made primarily of water, which is incompressible. But air is compressible, and you will feel pressure changes underwater in body air spaces, much like you feel pressure changes in your ears and sinuses in an airplane. Let's look at how changing pressure affects an air volume. If you descend with a flexible or inverted container, air compresses and the volume compresses proportionately to the pressure. For example, with the pressure 2 atmospheres, or bar, at 10 meters 33 feet, the gas volume is half what it was at the surface. At 3 atmospheres 20 meters 66 feet, it's 1/3, and so on. Notice that all the air is still there. It's just compressed into a smaller area. Air density follows the pressure proportionately too. To maintain the same volume as you descend, you have to add air to keep up with the volume reduction. This is the principle behind equalization, which we'll talk about in a moment. Obviously, it works the other way too. Air expands as you ascend, and the pressure diminishes. If you halve the pressure, for example, by ascending from 10 meters 33 feet to the surface, an air volume will double. So if you equalize the volume by adding air during descent, you must release some of the expanding air during ascent to maintain the same volume.